Hi, I'm Brian. It's June 15th, 2023. This is your WNBA leans, picks, predictions. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on these three games. We're going to go into this shortly. If you're watching this video, please hit the like button. I appreciate that. My channel is not big, but I am trying to grow it. And so let's get right into it. I like a couple of plays here, but I want to tell you, I'm going to preface this. First of all, I have not made any bets. I'm simply going to give you my thoughts. You are going to watch this and you will take what you find useful and use it. The rest of it, whatever you don't find useful, toss it. Doesn't matter, right? Okay, so you do what you want with this content. All right, we're gonna go into the first one, the Dream versus the UConn Sun. Okay, and so right now I'm seeing that the Sun are -7.5, and that's a pretty big number. The Dream are playing well, so here's what I would do. The total I'm not sure on. I know the Sun. So what I do is when I watch these or when I look at these, because sometimes these teams play each other back-to-back in games. They don't play another game and they'll play themselves. They'll play each other twice, right? But here's what I want to tell you. So what I do when I look at any teams playing each other, I look at the whole series. So I'll go back into the head-to-head and I'll kind of base things on that. The UConn Sun has covered 5 in a row against the spread. That right away screams at me, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you that I am looking at covers.com when I do the data on this, and 67% of the betting public, or the ones who are making choices, and they're not even betting this, so just, hey, who's going to win, and then they click aside. They're on the Sun. Generally speaking, in layman terms, when I see a 67 or a 66 on one side, the other side looks pretty tasty, okay? And I will also say, because the UConn Sun has covered 5 in a row, I would be looking for a way to back the Atlanta Dream plus the 7.5 in this game. Now, I would have to do more research to do that because I have not made a bet, but I'm just suggesting to you where I would look if I was going to bet this game. Total set at 163. Had a couple of overs. Does that total seem a little high? It does seem a bit high. But it could be very close to the number. As you see, if you watch any of these games, a lot of them land very close to the number. So the total is something I wouldn't mess with. I would look for a reason to back the Dream in this game. Let's move on to the next one. Indiana Fever facing the Chicago Sky. Okay, so now I want to tell you something very interesting about this game. Very interesting about this matchup, actually, okay? So as I look at this, and I want you to bear with me here as I go through, because I'm looking at this and just talking and shooting from the hip. When I did look at it last night, but I'm shooting from the hip kind of when I talk to you. So I appreciate you being patient. Okay, what I see here is this. Okay, the Fever have covered, the last one was a push, but the Fever have covered 5 in a row before the push. But that didn't really jump on it. That jumps out on me, right? So the Sky, But what really jumps out on me is the over has come in this game 8 times in a row, the over. So right away, okay, yeah, the last game was an overtime game. It did go way over. Right away, I'm coming back to the total here in the Sky and the Fever. It's at 159.5 right now. I'm looking to go under in that game. And as a matter of fact, that's my strongest lean in this video, the under in this Sky Fever game. So under 159.5. Now, I have not made a bet yet, but use that how you will when you decide to handicap this game today before it goes off at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern. We're going to come to this last game down here, Storm at Aces. Aces are just a juggernaut, aren't they? They're just a freaking juggernaut right now. But it's a huge spread. It's an absolutely huge spread. And if that's not enough to scare you off the Aces, I don't know what is. They did come home, and their last game, they crushed, who they crushed? They just crushed the Sky in their last game, right? So, and the last time they played Seattle, they beat them by 41, So there's that. I'll tell you what I'm going to do with this last game. I'm going to skip over it. I'm not even going to mess with it. I'm in Las Vegas, and with a spread that big, I just don't see value. Could they crush them by 30? They could. Did I look at it enough? I didn't. So I'm going to stay off the game. Do I look at it later? Maybe make a bet as I started through this? Probably not, okay? My goal is to take a look at that total there in that Fever Sky game, probably go under in that throughout the day. I think you might see, a fairly low scoring game, especially they've had 2 tough contests in a row, both of them. But that's where I'm at today. I hope you enjoyed this. I appreciate it. If you're still watching this with me, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to grow this channel, eventually get big at some point. But for right now, I'm just putting these tidbits out there. Appreciate you watching. Have yourself a nice day, and hopefully you win today.